it makes everything you think about what's happening in the lane get thrown off.
Yeah, and you can also, you know, potentially a team like OG, a younger team, is their first time at TI for a lot of them. Suddenly you're out of your comfort zone. There's, you know, you're laning in the river, and you know things can be a little bit, you know, maybe that throws them off more than it would throw off another team.
You know, normally I would agree, Quinn, but if I've learned anything about OG this year, their comfort zone is quite literally the entire world. You know, nothing happens. In fact, I think the more you throw this team off, the more they get in zone. Like, you know, if you think you're tilting Amar and he's buybacking early, now he just goes 20 and 0, right? How many times have we seen this?
Many times. We talked about that quite a bit, the question of whether or not you should shut down Amar, because it just seems like if you do shut him down, he comes back with a vengeance. We're currently watching the matchup of 9 versus BZN. We see the top lane of Yuragi and Misha in that Morphling lane. We said the lanes are super important here to keep Tundra from being able to snowball. So what are the things we're looking for when it comes to these side lanes in particular?
I mean, the lane equilibrium already disrupted top for Tundra. It's a great sign for them. They just want this lane back so the Visage plus melee hero can go to work, especially if they get level 2 and level 3 fast. This Misha Maiden already got nuked down really hard. And this is kind of a bad sign. You don't want this lane shoved out so fast for Crystal Maiden. She kind of wants to wear you down over the course of that shove out and get the kill at the end.
Yeah.
And that bottom lane, it's a similar story. OG wants this lane back for the Sand King so he can farm. Tundra wants to keep it up so Snake King can play the lane with the right clicks. Equilibrium super important for these two side lanes early on.
You said it, Quinn. It looks like Tundra have already identified we're going to abuse this Crystal Maiden lane. We're going to try and go for those kills. I mean, they're going for it without a nuke on Saksa. They're just throwing the tree at him and hoping to get 33 to maxed out stacks.
I feel like Misha's going to die here.
Oh, yeah.
He is very slow, very low. You have the Blight Orb on top of these tree hits. Very scary lane for this Crystal Maiden, and you do not want to feed the first blood to this Visage. It is the one way you're going to power up his early game the most.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the CS bottom lane as well, and the HP levels. This lane, since they opted to put the bottom 5, you don't have as much kill threat in this lane. A bottom Slark is very much chipping you down, abusing right clicks, abusing like individual skill in the CS. And I can definitely see a world where if Tundra plays this well, suddenly Sand King's low HP, can't come up to the wave. Is essentially, oh my goodness.
Ooh, that was a lot of damage, Skeeter. Actually, super low. That's it. Amar picks up the first blood.
Wow, that was a crucial mistake from Skeeter, staying up a little bit too long while Sand King's getting the pull off, feeds that kill away. Now suddenly Amar, 700 gold. He's gonna have plenty of HP, plenty of regen.
Yep.
Totally changes the trajectory of this lane.
I mean, that's huge for them. This is if OG can pick a hero to have a good early lane, it's probably the Sand King, because normally this hero gets abused. So if he's getting accelerated, it's even better for them. I mean, now with that lane getting pushed deep, right? You get the caustics, you get that burrow. Equilibrium, winning OG one of these side lanes at least.
Quinn, talk to me about this mid matchup, because you're a bit of an expert. I mean, you also have a enemy mid that you play up against quite a bit, and Gunner, who also plays the mid tusk all the time.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch Taiga actually. Looks like he's gonna be chased down here. Snaking. Oh, the double high ground hit.
That was the Crimson item. That was the Crimson.
It was the cosmetic pay to win right there.
Damn straight.
But yeah, talk to me about Tusk versus Ember.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that 9 picked Tusk into Ember. I think for a lot of people, they'd be pretty happy playing Ember into the Tusk because he just can't kill you ever. And Tusk is a hero that thrives off of early kills, early momentum. So it's kind of interesting that 9 picked that. I mean, 9 is a player with a very specific hero pool. And I think both sides will farm early, but it's one of these lanes where the Tusk needs to get stuff done other places because at some point you're going to start getting slighted infinitely, and you don't have a way to deal with that regen, right? You can't really punish the Ember back. He's going to sit there and keep pressing this stupid button on you. You lose all your HP. And so Tusk is sort of on a timer in that regard. Like, you see the CS is very even, but you can already see the slight starting to add up. Once level 5 comes around, level 7, it sort of becomes uninhabitable for Tusk.
I mean, you think he's just going to rotate super early this game, or do you just take it and get what you can? I mean, obviously the Tusk game plan is they probably don't care about this lane too much, right? Whenever you pick mid Tusk, lanes, whatever, it's about getting into the mid game where he's going to one-shot the back line. But do you try and force these early rotations to make up for this lane being a bad matchup?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that depends on how this top lane goes. I think that's where you're really happy to have a player like Neta in the offlane, because your offlane is doing pretty well right now. You can look at the CS, Morphling very, very low, not doing the greatest in CS chart. Because if Morphling's having a good lane, it's pretty hard for this Tusk to go top. But now Morphling, you know, he's getting a little bit low. Maybe Visage gets his 6 faster. Maybe suddenly Tusk, you know, comes up here and tears the game open.
Talking about that, you're getting doubled up on Morphling. It's pretty bad. Another Burrow Strike fight.
Yeah, Sandstorm doing some work. Snaking's gonna hop out of it to be able to finish off Taiga. Should be no problems there. And you can see the strength of the Slark is building up now against this Sand King. He has no options here. He's gonna be blocked up. He does manage to pick up the bounty rune, yes, but this is all but inevitable. He's gonna go for the Burrow Strike, perhaps the other side of the cliff, but he gets hit by the snowball first before he could get the jump away. 2 kills in the bottom lane for Tundra, making up a bit for that first blood.
That's better than a bounty rune in my book. I'll take it. You also get the permanent essence ship agility on Slark because he got the last hit. So
true.
Skeeter's gonna be happy about that one.
Yeah, I mean, also some time where the Slark gets to sit in the lane for free. The faster you get to the 6, the scarier it is for Sand King, because now suddenly the Sandstorm chip damage, like Slark doesn't care. He'll run into it, he'll hit you a bunch, he'll take a bunch of that damage, and he'll reset. And suddenly, on Sand King, you don't have a way to regenerate that HP. The lane can start to get a bit dicey. Maybe Tusk comes there and ganks you and kills you. You have to, you know, it can get very hairy very quickly.
So maybe the most important thing was the experience that he got out of those kills.
I think that was a really big deal.
Yeah.
That's definitely huge. I mean, it's also about this Mirana doesn't want to sit down here and leech his XP forever, right? At some point, she wants to go roam, play around the Tusk, play around the Visage, who's having a very good early game. Let the Slark get the solo XP, push him up to the level 6 faster. He will abuse the Sand King on his own. This game is going to come down to these rune fights, 6 and 8. 6-1's coming up right now. Sox on top, Snaking to the bottom. They want to deny this Ember the rune. They will.
Invis for the Tiny. He's gonna sneak away into the night, pick up the bounty rune while he's there as well. And we'll see whether or not, do they have vision of the Invis rune? Is it possible that he sneaks up on the Morphling here?
Might sneak up on his courier.
Yeah, that's actually what's really gonna happen here. Bye-bye, courier.
Mildly annoying. I mean, despite the CS and, you know, maybe the Morphling's HP levels, his net worth is, you know, pretty on par with Visage. The scary thing about this lane, though, is that it only gets worse for Morphling. Once you get to 6, suddenly the dynamic changes, and Visage just keeps on you. You're morphing down, your armor's going lower, he keeps on you, your armor's going lower, and you can sort of get, you know, kicked out of this lane, potentially die at super high HP.
I think 33's had an amazing laning stage this game. Yeah, like this is a hero that can get super abused. That's ideally what you want, but he's already just to level 6, 0 deaths, higher CS than the Morph. I mean, I don't think Yuragi sat on this lane, but if you're 33, you're super happy. Because again, you are the core of these Tundra lineups. You want to get that Wraith Pact and the Auras online. The faster you do, the faster you're enabling everybody else in the type of game Tundra wants to play.
Yeah, but you also know as this Visage is pretty soon there's a Walrus coming your way, and there's gonna be this tower dive, and it's pretty scary for this Morphling. We'll see how much they try to react to this when it happens.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see 9 just make that move with the Visage 6. Like, help him kick him out if they feel like they need the help to kick him out. Because again, like you said, I don't think he wants to just keep sitting mid against these slights.
Yeah, I mean, you can see him squirming and dragging. Oh,
level 6, they're trying it up, but the burst damage is actually not even close, thanks to in part the raindrop that he had. So Yuragi will go full agility, try and get back some HP where he can. 8-minute rune is coming up. Omar is actually in the neighborhood. Maybe OG is going to put some serious effort here. 9 is going to be chased down by the 2 supports. BZM, a little bit of catch up and get a slight.
He's going to go for it.
He's going to go for it with the remnants and a little bit more. They got the fairy fire. Here goes Zero. Nice shot from Snaking. Beautiful play by him. Snaking, longtime Mirana player. I mean, going all the way back to bottom. He's been playing this hero for quite some time. It's a little bit new on the 5 position, but he has some history for sure.
Right, if you're going to play 5 Mirana, you better hit your damn arrows, son. That's all I know. If you miss those, your impact goes down incredibly. But definitely bailed out his Tusk there. Huge play. I'll waste some Ember's time as well. Another arrow.
Dyer's middle tower
2 for 2 that I've seen.
Already good start.
Probably missed 5 early, but we won't count those.
And the bounce, here comes the rotation
there
from
it is.
9. Shows up, and well, we were talking about which of the side lanes are we going to be targeting here as the Tusk, because we know he's going to rotate around. Choosing to shut down Amar a little bit. Do you think that's a player preference or about the hero?
I think it might even be just based on the situation and Netta making the call. If you look at top lane, like, it doesn't really look like he needs the gank here. The Morphling's already left the lane. Netta doing some wave dragging shenanigans as expected. The tower is taking damage. These creeps, no one's getting the XP here. You know, maybe he calls, yo, you don't need to come top. Morph already left. I kick him up by myself, you know? And
Sure.
9 makes the smart play, gets the quick kill bottom. Now suddenly you've got pressure in all the lanes instead of just top.
Yeah, 4-1. Tundra up by 1,000 net worth early.
Dyer's top tower is under
And the big power spike for me is going to be OG's supports cannot drag their cores into the game, right? These are backline supports with heals and nukes. The upside is once your cores come online, OG supports come online as well. That's what they're trying to get this blink on Amar. He's gonna do some ancient
Got the
farming.
epicenter. He's gonna throw it out here. He's gonna do some ancient farming right into the nose of Tundra apparently, while Taiga is gonna be chased down by 9 here. No hope to be able to save him. Amar popping a healing salve underneath this sandstorm, while the rest of Tundra trying to get the last hits.
Got a sentry, it seems.
Nice trying to hold the aggro out of the sandstorm.
Yeah.
Oh, got them both.
Very nicely played. He gets a little bit of damage. Now they see him. Oh, the pounce barely off the mark. He burst strikes to the side. And now BZM is here to be able to help him out. Amar just on the sliver of HP, but they can't quite see him. They're going to be able to kill Skeeter as well. BZM to the rescue. And now 9 may be the third pickup as OG. Oh, beautiful shards. BZM doesn't quite have a lot of mana. Does he have enough to be able to jump over to the other side? His slide is not going to be good enough. He has plenty of remnants, but the mana is the real issue. They fed him some mangoes, not good enough.
Great fight for OG. I mean, we were talking about enabling the Sand King, getting him to blink. If Sand King dies and you lose that stack, you're absolutely screwed going into this mid game. Now they have a very good fighting chance to get the Sand King online, push towards this Maelstrom on Ember, who again, who's having the best game in this game right now? It's BZM.
Yeah, he is very farmed. I mean, you can... Oh, uh-oh.
Nice shot. First down, Amar. With the help of the birds, they'll keep that chain stun going. Snake King, even though he missed that arrow earlier, lands recovery 1, gets another kill on Amar, continuing to shut him down bottom of all the cores right now.
Yeah, I mean, such clutch play from Snake King, honestly. Going there and not letting the Snake King, you know, sit in the trees and sit there and defend forever because you don't have detection. Snake King immediately up there has 2 sentries, sneaky one in the trees. Amar doesn't expect it, goes down. Like, that's really painful. You're 800 away from this blink. You already farmed your ancient stack. Like, where are you going to get this gold from? There's more pressure from Tundra coming. Your mid tower is under attack soon. Your heroes are under attack. Your triangle. And the Snake King can't really contribute.
You have to weather the storm here. You have to do it through this Ember too. Like, OG needs to fight through this Ember Spear right now. Ideally, keep this mid tower alive as long as they can. There's going to be some move to collapse on it, likely coming out from Tundra here in the next 5 minutes or so.
And shutting down the Sand King holding that top tower does also speed up your bit rotation.
You don't want to let him sit up there and just delay the game. You want to have this Visage be able to progress through the objectives he wants to do. Maybe a little triangle farm on the menu as well. And he is really farmed. This is going to be a fast raid pack.
And that's probably what, once he gets that raid pack, then we're trying to take down that mid tower, right?
I think there's some move that can come out. Either the jungles, you can go triangle. You want to use it to get the 5-man going.
That was so greedy. He really tried to hold it for 9, but ultimately Soxa did have to pick it up.
Pretty clutch from Soxa to click it there at the end and not like hold 9 got it. Like that was pretty clutch. I mean, I think
I would have left it for you though.
I appreciate that.
You know, otherwise you were gonna yell at me after the game.
Let's keep that off podcast. Thank you.
Freaking power runes, man.
I mean, I think what Neta's doing here is something that is pretty cute and like something Faith Beyond's done in the past, but occasionally when these offlaners that can farm ancients, if you don't feel like you have the ability to go mid for whatever reason, maybe OG has too many heroes there, you rescind a little bit, you farm the ancients, you get your pot on this level 7, now suddenly, you know, have this little bit stronger time maybe a minute later, and I think that's something that Tundra is more willing to do than a lot of other teams, who maybe lose a little bit of focus, maybe they force this mid push a bit too much, waste some time, and now suddenly their economy gets hurt a lot, and OG, you know, starts to creep back a little bit.
I mean, this is the Slark Diffusal. We're on a level 7. Amar's just channeling.
Yeah, he's... Ooh, okay. Snowball. They're going to go for Misha here. Amar still trying to set up. He's safe from Taiga. The Crystal Nade's still eventually going to die. And look at that. Soxa gets a really nice toss back onto the Oracle as well. Taiga does what he can, but ultimately he's just going to be throwing damage around before he eventually dies and gives another stack over to Skeeter.
And the amount of pump fakes from Amar, I thought he knew that smoke was coming. I was like, oh my, how does he know? But I think they were just, again, anticipating this mid move. They had the Sand King blink. They had the Ember Maelstrom. Maybe Tundra's a little too fast, caught him off guard, and that mid tower going down is really going to open up the map here. It's going to open up the Roche down the line more as well. And they didn't get the fight. I think that's the fight that OG wanted more than anything, right? Like, you want to be able to take that fight with the blink, with the Maelstrom around that tier 1 that can protect your supports. Instead, you just get collapsed on. Now, where's your next opportunity to fight? Now you got to kind of play the map, make an aggressive move of your own. This is a nice move. It connects. Soxa
just throws the tiny, does what he can, but he is going to be the victim of this smoke. But what is OG going to do with that? Support pick-off doesn't necessarily mean you can put pressure on the mid tower or anything.
No, they wanted Slark or Tusk out of that move.
Yeah. Very cute.
That is a very Tusk thing.
First the punch, then the high five.
I can't kill you, but I'm going to sit here and annoy you. I'm going to cast my spells. You're going to be mildly irritated. But there's more coming now, and yeah, I mean, the map being small like this, OG's heroes, they can only really kill you at a small...
Oh, they surprised him, but the Shrink Morph went off just in time, and now that is actually baited 9 aimed to death here because OG actually brought a full party here. Everybody but Tamar is hanging out in this Radiant jungle.
Yeah, a bit rushed from Tundra. To be honest, I'm surprised they're not pushing things a little bit more. The Slark having the Diffusal Blade.
Ooh, good sentry laid out, spotted Skeeter.
He knows.
He actually thought maybe there was a ward or something to be able to deal with the sentry in time.
Master tier Slark carrying his own sentries. That's how you know someone's a Slark player.
I mean, nowadays, Slarks are incentivized to do it. Playing those wards, there were so much.
Was it his sentry though, or did someone else buy it for him? Because there's a difference.
No,
There
surely
is a
he bought
difference.
it because he wants the bounty for it.
He bought it. Oh no, he planted it. We can't see. GG.
For Amar again.
Oh, sneaking in from behind. Soxa's going to be able to get the toss back, and they land the pounce immediately afterwards. Burrow strike in a second, but he can't get it off in time. That pounce just lasted too long, and the TP had to be canceled, so this is a free tower push.
Yeah, pretty cool adaptation from Tundra. They're not snaking, staying up there in the top lane, sort of keeping it pushed in after 9 died up there, and they say, okay, that's fine. Snake, you can stay there. We're going to go across the map with the rest of the heroes. We're not afraid. You know, our cores don't need to farm. We're going to connect them. We're going to fight with them. We don't need our supports to be in every move. So Snake's just sort of chilling up there, and the cores go down and take this tower. They pressure the Sand King, and now suddenly maybe your main woods are under threat, or you have to waste a glyph on this tier 2 bottom, and then you have the next tier 2. Yeah, so there's the glyph.
That's a unique aspect of Mirana as a support, right? It kind of functions like those hoodwinks or something, because he can be up there and probably won't die because of his mobility. Well, Soxa, well, he doesn't have the same kind of options, and once again will be victim of OG's aggression. They're immediately going to smoke up afterwards here, but it was underneath the high ground ward.
Yeah, he's gonna break it.
9, good job there. Breaking a bit of the smoke. OG, they know they've been spotted, but yeah, they're still going to go for that mid tower regardless.
It's low. There's a clip here.
Free pick off on Miso, but there's going to be the jump in from DCM. He's getting caught by the birds, perhaps. They the Morph cut out of mana. He's going for snaking, gets burned out of all of his mana. They land the pounce there as well. And 33 is full health. Here comes the epicenter, and Misha with a great ultimate as well there. It stops the epicenter. No chance for Amar. A toss back from Soxa. What a hit with the avalanche shots combination, bringing everybody low. And Tundra just got to clean through the OG heroes.
Man, what an arrow to stop that epicenter. So much damage to gate in the fight. OG cannot clean it up. I'm not sure they were going to be close with that Wraith Pack down and put Artie on this Visage, but absolute disaster. BZM up, just getting the mana burn on the jump too. He just remnant straight into birds, and Skeeter sitting there like, oh, you did the pounce for me, son. Just drains all his mana, gets the stacks up. Tundra cannot ask for a better fight. And I was about to say, this game has felt very reactionary from OG in terms of being very patient, waiting for the fights, the right ones they want to take. The aggressive smoke moves are just hard for them this game.
Yeah, but you can see very good positioning from Tundra in this fight. It's rare you see a full duration CM ult and they lose the fight. Like, they just left them alone. He pressed the CM ult and they just said, fine, do it. And they walked away and they fought on the other outer ridge. And you see, CM, she doesn't really do that much in this fight. There's not much she can do. Tundra, really, really nice positioning in this fight. Fucking crazy toss back.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Landing that combination on 3 different heroes. That was like the last nail in the coffin right there. OG, I mean, this just, you're talking about how they really set the tempo of this game. It just feels like they are very uncomfortable. This just, I wouldn't imagine, like, if you took away the logos and everything, I just wouldn't think this is OG.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Yeah, I mean, that's... Sorry, go
No, go ahead.
I mean, thank you. I think that smoke just felt very pressured. Like, you see the way Ember Remnant's in there. Like, it's very, like, we're losing. We need to make something happen. I need to catch a guy.
Pounce immediately afterwards. Manta trying to dodge a little bit of damage. It does manage to get the slight jump away just in time. The pounce faded, but 9 is just able to go for the next hero. Taiga, he was there to try and help out BZM and may have been able to do something, but it does cost him his own life and apparently cost him their tier 2 top tower as well. Things are getting very dark indeed for OG in this game 1.
The lead's going to build here. The one thing about OG is this team is very good at stalling games. Like, they understand that they are a very strong late game team. Between the 3 cores synergizing in the late game fights with the net worth they can bring out. I've seen them take fights from 20k down like it was nothing. The thing they have to keep in mind is you're playing against a Slark Mirana lineup. So one, you have this Moonlight that can move people around very fast, set up a lot easier. You cannot sentry everywhere on the map, especially these deep side lanes you want to split push. And then Slark is going to run out and kill your vision. Just makes it even harder on top of that as well. So while I think OG has the heroes to split push this game out and take a later game fight with the Ember timings, I think there's also a lot of tools on Tundra's side to shut that down, just destroy the vision, and we're already seeing it. Like, you just got up some deep, dire wards, but Skeeter's running through here, and he's pinging it. And he's literally just pinging, hey guys, check around the area, get some freebies.
I mean, they get these wars, but I think OG not that unhappy with the way the map is being split right now. You see them run all the way down bottom, Tundra reacts, and OG's already up in top lane buying some time. Like, you know, the gold lead, since they got the Aegis, not really changed very much.
That was rather bold. Anything for that extra frostbite, I guess. You just locked in melee range of the birds on that one, and Tundra's like, okay, we are already planning on pressuring some more. Amar, Sasha really trying to force this, but going behind, it does set up Amar for the opportunity. Epicenter, but the Avalanche actually went out there and stalled things out, and with the Morphling already dead, there goes all your damage. Tundra, they're just way too big.
Where's your damage going to come from? You already have full Wraith Pack pipe on this visit.
Sand King does literally no damage at that
You
point.
do nothing. I think if Sand King channels all of his spells and connects them on everybody, you're doing like 500 damage. And they sit there and go, what's up? You know? On top of that, you still have Aegis on the Slark. I don't think you can take these fights. I don't even think OG should really be trying to take these fights. I don't think it's possible. Even if 99% of your theory goes right. I think you have to split push this map. Maybe if you do that, your win probability isn't as high as taking that tier 2 fight. I can understand why they feel like maybe there's an opening, but this is just a rough spot to be in. And now Skeeter with the Marana ult, nice little synergy, finding the freebies.
Quick kill on Misha, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, this comes back to, I mean, we talked about the heroes and the fact that OG's damage very, very similar, and suddenly this Wraith Pack pipe comes out and you're looking at the heroes and you're like, wow, we can't kill anyone. And when you're in that state where you're just dodging and you're just sliding around the map, it's all on the other team to mess up because they have all the power in the world. They can kill you and you can't kill them, and suddenly they're just squeezing you in. You're getting squeezed and squeezed and squeezed, and suddenly you have no net worth and they just throw on you.
I agree. This map is entirely Tundra's control, and like we saw earlier, they're just farming it up everywhere. I mean, Skeeter's just going into the whole team alone.
Finds an opening here, Taiga. Not going to be hit by the arrow, but still hit by that extra pounce. Gonna have a little bit of help here. Does, of course, have the Aegis, so it's perfectly fine for Skeeter to be super aggressive here. After all, he's setting up the rest of the team to come in from behind. Nice block in there with the shards. He's going to set up an arrow. That's going to land on the Taiga. They're going to leave their supports behind. OG full bailing out once again. They do not have the firepower to win team fights. They cannot win 5-on-5. So as soon as Tundra shows up in force, they have to retreat.
This is high ground. This is good for sure. I think Tundra just stays around it. Are you afraid of any sort of 5-on-5 at this point? No, you have all the horrors. You have the drum on Snake King. He has 4-staff as well. All the vintage doors that we talked about. You have BKB on your Tusk. It's such a huge power spike in 20 minutes of the game.
What can OG do? They're literally just helpless. They're watching their buildings die. I think if Tundra went top, which, I mean, they're probably going to play it safe and farm a little more gold, wait for the right jump, but, I mean, there's the drum, the 4-staff, the Wraith Pack, the pipe, like, they've got all the Tundra items, and they're running it down your throat.
Nice. Good toss back. I mean, he just has so many setups, right? If you toss him straight up in the air, it would have been an arrow. He tosses him over to the Skeeter to allow the pounce to land. Tips start coming out. Snake King, I mean, Amar, no impact, no idea. He has not had a whole lot of fun in this Sand King game, and I think so much of the story of this game comes back to the draft and where we were talking about how they were preemptively setting up for Tundra's like Zoo stuff and how they drafted a certain way specifically, and it seems to have put OG out of their own comfort zone. I mean, Amar does not look like Amar right now.
I mean, Sand King is just he's a very hit or miss hero. Like when he hits and he starts snowballing, he is super strong. But when he misses, it's hard.
Struggle.
I mean, he's behind Veil. How many times have we seen Amar behind Veil in his career, you know? This is not the item I think he would ideally like to be buying this deep into the game. But they are just searching for any sort of extra damage at this point.
Yeah, we can see your goal.
Follow up with the punch, the snowball, the arrow coming in, it's well, the straight form is doing its work, but now they've got the pounce, and that's going to be good enough. Misha, freezing field, but he just dies too damn quickly. BCM, he's going to be locked down. Amar goes through, hits the bro strike, only onto one. They're focusing on 33, but he is super tanky, and Skeeter is completely uncontested. One by one, he will just knock down these heroes, take away their agility, and that is it. OG. Well, GG out. This was no contest. Tundra 26-7 in this game one.